Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for the fifth and final one-shot for Void Coriolis, the in-between Season 2.5. We are here with our illustrious Game Master and everyone's favorite criminal, criminal, Paul, aka Sewell. So yeah, as always, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is by going down to our Patreon, link down below. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, Dot gets to do what the hell she wants to any of us. Mostly Paul. And every single dollar that goes into that goes back to this wonderful, amazing cast that you see here before you. With that being said, I switch things over to Dot to take us to prison.
Well, okay. Tonight's a very special night, so we're just going to take a little minute and we're going to do a small recap because a lot has led up to this moment. A lot has happened since the last time we saw Sewell. So it's important to note that over the last year, or at least an equivalent amount of time, when you're, all over space, the crew of the Defiant has each taken on small missions of their own, each leading them to new information regarding the whereabouts of Sewell and the prison that he was sentenced to, as well as some inside information like a map and a means of being able to go through, say, a corrupt or broken portal. A new crew member was gained, of course. We learned thanks to Sholey, who has brought Alia onto this vessel, and a rescue mission for not Sewell, but Malik. Had to take place before they could ever make it to the opposite end of the third horizon. Their trip is taking them from Kua to the system of Odacon. I have given our players a chance in this regard to choose how they get there, but we'll get some rolls from Tau on their journey to save Sewell. But our camera cuts into the system of Odacon, where Sewell is said to be housed. In a prison known as Pryzon. Yes, Pryzon. Pryzon. Pryzon is a dumping ground. It is a asteroid, some call it. Others that have a deeper knowledge of history would know it's a piece of a planet that was destroyed in one of the final battles of the Portal Wars here in Odacon, where everything ended. And though there are a few planets left, what remains of that one is mostly an asteroid belt, littered with vessels and ships, a graveyard, some call it. And in this asteroid belt is one particular asteroid, massive in size, small continent, probably. And on this massive asteroid is a small structure. And as this camera zooms in, you see it's actually a docking station connected to this asteroid. We can see a couple guards roaming about. The docking station is empty, but the camera cuts in through dense metal sliding doors, massive in size. As they open up, change of guard happens. You can hear the sound of prisoners. And we get a series of vignettes. The first one, Sewell's arrival. As much as I'd like to think you skip your way in, unfortunately, you come out of an extended cryosleep. You're not sure how long you've been there. And you are dumped on a dirty, dusty floor. You can hear the sound of others around you, gruff noises, the smell of rotting flesh and BO. Is all around you. And as your vision comes to over a series of days, you find yourself in a rather dangerous place. Sewell.
Yes.
You still at this point look like your father.
Fuck.
You haven't changed back yet. It's only been about, well, at least from your knowledge, a few days since your trial. You find yourself, as always, alone. This place is a labyrinth. These tunnels are made organically by something that burrows here. And you learn the hard way within the first month that you're there that you can never stay any one place too long. Sewell, I'd like you to make an agility check.
Oh shit! All right, cool, cool. All right, all right.
You're hanging out. You're feeling down on your luck. Your face still looks like your father. And the rumble in the caves. You hear a few men go, run! Run! You've never heard this before. You've been here a while. But the ground around you shakes. And with a 2 limited success, which is pretty good, you may look like your father, but you still move like Sewell.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Up, you bolt, you run, you duck, and as you dive, you watch as 3 of the prisoners are turned into paste under the weight of a massive worm. And it panned by you as you tuck your body into a small crevice or hole. When it's gone, you can see the kind of crushed corpses of these men that were running. Warned you, in fact.
Is there anyone around me, or are they all just like scattered?
That's
and
it.
gone?
They're all dead. You're the only one that made it. The rest of them died. You stand now silent. You can hear the worm burrowing a totally opposite direction.
Is there anything left of them other than paste, like the clothes they're wearing, or?
There's still like a crushed body, right? So technically, yes, there's clothes and boots. One of them has a shank.
Oh, I like. Okay, I want to. So gonna run over and kind of try to see what he could best get out of the outfit.
Yeah.
See if there's any unification to what they're wearing. To see if there's any kind of symbols. He immediately goes into this mode
Hmm.
of like, okay, I'm in an unknown spot with no idea what's going on. Everything's gone. I need to gather myself.
So
So
we see you like quickly check these bodies. You find for the first time here a shank, a weapon. You've not had a weapon since they took all your stuff, and these guys have nice boots. They must have taken them off somebody else. And we kind of see you suit up as the montage fades. I'm gonna have you roll an investigation check. This
okay.
investigation check is going to tell you over a series of months things that you learn about this prison and the ways that you survive.
What I roll for that?
Let's see. I believe it's. Hang on, let me pull up the character sheet so I can see it. It's been a while, y'all. You can roll a. Ooh, I will take a survival check or an infiltration check.
I'll do infiltration. Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Let's see if you can infiltrate this prison. Okay.
Bam.
The basics that you know. It's segmented by color. There are specific areas they've kind of broken it down. This is like a blue quadrant, and a red quadrant and a green. And so you begin to kind of figure out where and how deep you are and in what quadrant you're in based on this like color coding and patterning that they have. The guards rarely ever come very deep in here. And you know that and you manage to lightly map out how to get to and from. You know, if you can't make it back to mess, then you don't get to eat. So getting lost in the tunnels is a bad idea. And you begin to kind of spend a lot of time by yourself learning the ins and outs of this place over another 3 months or so. And we see you become more haggard and well worn. More importantly, you only eat once a day if you make it in time. And time is obsolete here in a place where you never see anything outside of these dingy walls. What does Soul look like as he starts to
Well,
change?
he's getting a little unkept, but he still has that shank, so he's starting to trim off whatever hair
Mm-hmm.
he can, try to keep his hair tied up, if not just cut as much as he can. He's going for more practical rather than
Yeah.
stylish. The clothes that he wears, he will consistently dirty up to make it look like if he needs to blend in somewhere, it's the best option for that. Um, he's not really wearing too much other than whatever he needs just for weather and warmth, I guess,
Yeah.
because he's not trying to be tied down. But a lot of his what he's wearing is just rags, ripped up clothing. You can see some of it being attached from like other parts,
Mm,
and he's just kind of like surviving as best he could, minimum as he needs,
right.
so that he can move around fast.
Months pass. At least you're pretty sure. Maybe we see you scratching onto a wall to try to keep track of the days. You have scoped this place as much as you think you can safely. It's hard to do anything in this place without somebody watching your back, and you don't have anybody watching your back anymore. You would think that if the Defiant was maybe coming to get you, they would have done it by now.
I would say in the earlier stages of his stay in this
Mm-hmm.
hospitable location, it
Mm-hmm.
would be very hopeful. He would constantly return to a set point every like time frame that he can remember, thinking, all right, if I need to set a ground basis, so that way if they do come for me, they'll know where I'll be. So he'll just keep going back there every single day as much as he can. As the months and the time gets longer, he starts going every single day to once every 3 days or once every 4 days, and eventually he would go just to check up. And his hopeful demeanor slowly becomes more and more cruel and kind of edge on edge and very
Mm-hmm.
just aggravated at something, at someone, or just in a very constant aggressive manner. And yeah.
Let's see. What have I got? I'm going to have you I'm going to have you roll a melee combat roll.
Okay, cool.
Just one.
Okay.
I imagine that we see this change begin to happen. The gruffness of your brow, the change in your face as your father's begins to disappear and yours finally starts to come back. But we see it as it meets a fist, a big one,
Fuck.
a fight in the middle of the mess hall. You're getting the crap beat out of you by some men. And the guards come down and you hear them fire up into the air. A couple of the prisoners break up. The guy kind of picks you up by the gruff. I imagine we see you struggling, choking, bloody. And the guards point the guns down at all of you and they say, "Drop him!" Body plops to the floor. And they say, "Back to your," or they say, "Everybody back up, new prisoner." And they move in a very large man. He's twice your size. He's huge. He's got a bandana covering, you think what's left of his hair. He's got kind of a quirky smile, and age wears on his face. The cuffs almost look too small for his wrists as they finally undo him, and he kind of like snorts at the guard he looks down on, and the guard kind of steps back a little bit. And they shock him with one of those prods, and he moves down the stairs, adding a new prisoner to the ranks. The guy who was beating on you stands up and looks at you. And there's like this tense moment between this big guy, the big guy who was beating your face, probably you, and his like posse that was standing around watching.
I think Sewell at this point, especially with everything that's been going through his mind, he kind of like just lays on his back and looks up at the like from a downwards, just a crew. He just sees 3 or 4 big dudes just looking over, and he's just gonna start laughing, and he just kind of like spits out a little blood, and he just lays there, kind of just like, all right.
You start to laugh. I imagine you laugh and you kind of spit this
Yeah.
blood.
It's
And
not
then
like a huge harsh chuckle. It's just
yeah,
like
just like a like a cough.
Yeah.
You get done and maybe you spit up some blood, and then you hear another laugh. The large man who came down the stairs, he starts to laugh. And he kind of like looks at the situation back and forth in this kind of awkward way, and he steps over and offers a hand to help you up off the ground.
if I look over to the other group, what are they doing?
They think he's nuts. Like they kind of look at him like, "What the hell are you laughing?" Actually, probably the big guy who still has your bloody, your blood on his knuckles, says, "You got something you're laughing at?"
Is he saying that to me or the big dude?
The big guy who's like,
Oh, okay.
and he's kind of like laughing and offers you the hand and kind of helps you up if you'll accept.
I'll accept it. No, I accept very cautiously though, and just making sure, like, I want to make sure he's not gonna just fucking like stab me. as he picks
No,
me
it
up.
doesn't look like it. I mean, he's barren of anything. He just got in the prison. You know
Right.
what
Oh
that's
yeah,
like.
no, I'll accept it. Yeah, I'll accept it. I'll get
Yeah,
it.
he gets up and he puts a big hand on your shoulder and he goes, "You know, my daddy always said that you only learn something about a man in a fight.
What did you learn?
I learned you can take a punch. I learned he's an asshole.
Okay. Uh, you go ahead and keep learning, I guess.
You too. I'm Garvey." And this guy goes, "I was talking to you. I asked you a question. Did you see something funny?"
I look over to the guy and I look back at Garvey. I'm like, I think he doesn't like your little lesson.
He goes, "Well, sounds to me like he missed the point."
I look over at the guy and go like,
And he turns and decks this guy. Okay. Just decks him one. Oh, a failure. Okay, no, this has to happen. I'm spending darkness points to reroll because I want him to deck this guy one. Okay, a limited success. That's all it takes. One limited success. And he just, his fist is massive and it meets this guy's like shaved head with a thud, like rock on rock. And I imagine we see a little bit of a brawl break out once again. As this montage shifts and we begin to see you and Garvey hang out as much as one would hang out in a, prison on the back ass end of the third horizon. But and there's no real cells in terms of like behind bars, but you become friends in some way. And what do you and Garvey do for fun?
well, I feel like Sewell wouldn't have the same idea as fun as Garvey. So
Okay.
Sewell would spend most of his time continuing to map out the tunnels, trying to kind of understand. And at this point, what's important to him is building a reputation to not be messed with. So I think what Sewell would do is use the opportunity to overkill or over beat up certain people.
Okay.
Like the person that
Okay.
that punched him, if I had the opportunity, Sue would curve stomp his neck and
Yeah.
then leave.
Okay. We see this. We see the two of you kind of
And I want to
gain
install I
some
want to install this lesson to Garvey. Like I am trying to explain to Garvey, like, hey, this is what you gotta do.
Okay. So we see you teach Garvey things and we see Garvey teach you things. And let's see. We see it's kind of like a buddy cop montage, I imagine, where you're like eating together and then you're like stomping people's faces into the curb together. And you're like you're doing that thing that you do where you bond. And as you begin the process of infiltration, I'm gonna have you roll once more.
Okay. Infiltration?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm good.
Because even better, you spend more time, and it's really helpful having this guy around because sometimes tunnels are up there and you can't get to them. And this guy can boost you with a single hand. And in this montage, we see the two of you kind of walking down a much darker, unkept tunnel, signifying that it's a little bit farther out on the outskirts of where most of the prisoners spend their time. Dangerous, in fact. But you've not mapped this area and you've got to know, especially if you're going to ever find a way out of this fucking place. And we hear Garvey going, boss,
What?
I was just wondering, uh, are we really going to try to escape?
Oh,
I mean,
no.
escape.
What did I say? Remember, you keep your voice down when we're in the public open, all right?
Right. What was that there code word we had? We're going for groceries.
What? No.
Right?
Just shut up. Shut up.
It's the code
Yeah,
word.
we're just mapping out. We're trying to figure out what's there, and we'll go from there. If we can find something, we might find something. But don't get your hopes up.
Oh, but you said we was leaving.
Yeah, we will. We'll leave, but it might take some time. Okay. Okay.
Okay. And I imagine you hear his feet like drag behind you, this big man, and you come to a dead end. You rarely find a dead end in this place because that's not really how it happens. And
Right.
it seems odd to you in some way. And you look up and there it is. You see a small tunnel, much smaller than usual, up high. And he goes, you want some boost, boss?
Yeah, but a light one. Don't throw me up there like last time.
Yeah. No. I won't throw you.
Okay.
And he kind of helps you up and you're able to pull yourself up. No problem. I imagine you're lean and fit at this point if you weren't already before. And you kind of crawl through almost like an air vent sized hole. This seems like somebody else carved it.
Okay.
And as you kind of pull yourself forward, you see some light.
Oh, I like light.
And it's been a long time since you've seen any kind of light. That's not just like basic like glow sticks and flashlights and headlamps from prisoners. And as you grow closer, you see the wall ends again, but there's a small piece of it missing. Just enough where you could like almost put your face up next to it and kind of look down. And as you do so, you're met with, you've been in this place 9 months. 9 months. You've seen some crazy shit. You've watched more men be flattened by a giant worm than you ever thought possible. You've watched guards drag those corpses off with little to no regard. You've watched men run down by dogs that are trained to do nothing but eat human flesh.
Ew.
Yeah. You've been in mess hall fights, you've been in hallway fights, you've been in fights over fights. And you made a friend along the way, and he's probably the only thing that's really saved you. He's always had your back because
Right.
together, you were gonna get the fuck out of here. But this thing that you look down on is not like anything you've ever seen before. Based on your calculations, you must be really close to the center of this asteroid, which is why you didn't expect to see a dead end.
Right.
On the other side, this space seems to be more structured, as if it's been built out a little bit, finished. And in the middle is a giant mechanism. Big gears and turning pieces, spinning parts, all lined up. And you can hear this mechanism kind of turning and clicking, which wouldn't be a big deal, except the entire thing is covered. Crunching, you can hear, in corpses. The corpses of the prisoners. Attached to certain places, their bodies mangled left and right, wove between these steel gears. As it does, it crushes and they decay, and the whole thing is like a rotting clock. The smell now hits you. You've looked over it long enough to kind of get the full picture. You don't know what it does or what it's powering, but you can see that it's held in place to like the top of the ceiling and the bottom, and it kind of is right in the center of this huge space.
So it's like 2 bars, something like spherical, and then it's just rotating like clockwise.
Yeah, it's like if you took out the inside of a clock and like pulled the whole thing big. Yeah, big. Like something the size of Tal's vessel. And the whole thing is just like a giant mechanism of corpses. It seems to possibly, you're not really a stupid man. And you, even though you're not like, a Tamir, you don't understand mechanics that way, but you would think that this thing is being powered in some kind of unnatural way by these corpses.
If I look, can I look into the room through the little like
yeah, you can like look farther down. Yeah.
If I look around, is there anything that looks like an entryway or like a way to get into this thingy?
No.
So is there any like entry point for these corpses to get in here?
That's a good question. You know what? I'm feeling saucy. I'm feeling saucy about this. You're like, how the fuck do they get them in here? Because you don't see a like proper door. And then you hear something, the sound of like clattering in some way, and you watch as two corpses drop from the ceiling. Like where that big bolt or that big rod that's like centralized, right? It goes up into the ceiling. It's actually hollow around it. It goes even farther up. And you see bodies just drop from the ceiling, these two corpses, and they smash into the clock in different ways. Some body parts break off. It sticks to some of the decaying stuff. And these bodies now become part of the larger conglomerate of this corpse clock.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna start crawling back.
Yeah, you're like, oh, and maybe, you know what? I need you.
Oh, come on. No, what?
No. It's perfect. This is perfect. I need you
You're gonna make me roll in the middle of a corpse clock? Are you serious?
to roll empathy. If you don't have empathy, just roll for your wits.
Okay, I empathy. I do. Okay, I have empathy. Okay. I failed.
Okay. It catches you by surprise. It's been a really long time since you've seen this much death. And maybe you go to back out and you lose your footing. Remember, you did climb up here.
Oh,
And you slide like backwards down this tunnel. And your friend here, Sewell, is going to where is he at? Where's old Garvey? Garvey's going to try to catch you.
You better fucking catch me, Garvey. Don't fucking let me down.
He's gonna try to catch you. I think this is gonna have to be his dexterity, which is not good. But you know what? No, we're doing it this way.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, he does. He catches you right into his arms, and he goes, I got you, boss."
Oh, I like swarm up, like I'm glad he caught me, but I can't show that, right? Because I'm a badass. So I try to like swarm out and be like, okay, let me down.
"Sorry, boss. I didn't. You did want me to catch you, right?
Yeah, you did good. Stop calling me boss. Just
Did you find a way out?"
Not per. Well, I found a way out, but it might not be a good.
You found a way out?
Well, no, I said I found
found a way out.
I found a way out. Where you go after that, you might not like, but yeah.
All right.
We're not gonna go that way though. We're not gonna go that way.
We're not going that way.
No.
Okay, which way we going? Because this is a dead end, so we got to go that way.
No, we're not gonna go that way. I think we should probably go back and find another route.
Hey, boss.
What?
I thought coming to this here prison was going to be the worst thing ever, but I met you, so that's not really the worst thing ever.
You're not really gonna say that coming to here isn't as bad as you thought it was, are you?
Well, I'm gonna be real honest with you, boss. I know I've told all them their stories about why I got thrown in here, but the truth is I mislabeled some crates that had some important stuff in it because I don't read so well, and so it really wasn't nothing scary. No, it was just I get letters backwards sometimes.
Are you telling me that I've risked my neck for somebody who came here because he can't read?
Well, they don't know that. They just got real angry and thought that I took this stuff in the box.
You know what? Forget it. That's not the reason. Stick with one of the other 14 stories you told. Just don't ever say that story ever again.
Oh, I was just trying to be honest with you because I feel real bad I lied to you,
It's fine. I don't really care the reason why you came here. Just come on.
Hey, boss. Hey, boss.
Oh my God. What?
When this is all done and we escape this here prison, where are we going?
For a moment, Sewell actually sinks into his like stomach a little bit, and he thinks about immediately home, but then he kind of remembers. He goes, that's a good question. Do you have a place you want to go?
I used to have a home, but I know my wife won't take me back now. She didn't even like me then. Now I'm just the guy who messed up the crates.
Again, you're telling the story. Don't what I say. Don't say that.
I'm just the guy who smashed that guy's head in.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I did.
It's fine. We'll maybe we'll go pay a visit to your wife, and we can figure something out for you. All right.
You want to meet my wife?
Well, no, I don't. I just mean like I will
Well, then maybe we just make that, that doesn't have to be part of our journey out of this place. We could just maybe skip that part and just keep going.
You seem like you don't want to meet your wife.
That's because you ain't met my wife.
All right, you know what? What if we escape? If we escape, I will let you decide where we go next. I can't really go back
Boss,
where I
you
want to
gonna
go.
let boss? You gonna let me choose?
Yes, I literally just said that.
Oh, boss, nobody ever let me choose nothing.
I can't imagine why. Can we please just leave? I don't want to stand in this corpse. I mean, I don't want to leave it this dead end tunnel here. Let's just go. We just gotta just go.
Uh, he does not. He bear hugs you like
I
in the
will.
biggest. Like he bear hugs you and squeeze you. He goes, boss, you made me the happiest. Well, I guess I'm not really a dock worker no more.
Let me
You made me
let
the
me
happiest fugitive that ever
let me.
fugitive.
Oh fuck! What am I doing? Just get the fuck off me! And I
He
like
goes,
push him
oh,
off.
hey, boss, guess what?
What? What?
I think today's shower day.
Fuck.
He
I'm
goes, we
fine.
best hurry. We's gonna be late.
Yeah. Just fucking go. And I'm just
Yeah,
gonna push him forward. Just like hurry
right.
up.
And so you meet up with the crew. Like they take you in groups. You get to shower like once every few weeks, maybe. And
I
so
would say during the shower though, my primary objective would be to see if I can steal other people's stuff while they're
oh,
distracted.
make
That's
a
why.
make okay.
Yeah.
Yes, shower montage. Let's get it's actually not as steamy as you think it is, everybody. Let's get a I'll take another infiltration roll if you want to make it.
Sure. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, let's do another infiltration. You can try to yeah. You
Okay.
continue to take people's things. You gather another like shank here. You get a better pair of pants. Some that have like some padding in it. You don't even know where they got the padding, but they did. And so the showers are like stalls. They're kind of like these booths, I guess you could say. And you're in yours, and each one is identical. There's a mirror to your right, the shower faucet itself, and a drain in the floor. And at the end of the room is the man who makes sure that nobody leaves while everybody's taking a shower. And everything kind of gets real steamy as it does. And it's kind of like you black out for just a second.
Cool.
Cool. Cool. And when you come to, you catch your body almost like just before you go to faint, kind of on the edges of the shower. And you hear the guy over go, hey, hands to yourself. And so in the steam of the shower, on the mirror in front of you, which is already kind of cracked and jagged, something is written. Maybe it's your finger because when you look, you see it's got a cut in it. And just a little bit of blood down the side of this like crack in the mirror. You can see that your finger wrote this message, but you don't remember doing this. It simply says, Defiant family relieves tunnel pressure. Blue sector, 2 weeks.
Can you repeat that one more time? I
Yeah,
missed the middle part.
absolutely. The Defiant family relieves tunnel pressure. Blue sector, 2 weeks.
There's no like sense of time in this area, right?
You're trying to keep track of days, right? Because they feed you once a day. So as long as you show up to do that kind of thing, you can kind of keep track of it.
Okay.
So I'm going to send you what it says so that you have it.
Okay. Relief
You would know
pressure.
that the blue sector is the outermost sector, the one that is said to like be part of the actual exterior wall, on one end of this asteroid. What did I say? Blue sector, 2 weeks. Okay, that's the. If you would like, you could make a roll to see if you can better break that down. But the thing that kind of sticks in your brain and it almost freezes you is that word at the top. Oh, 2 words at the top. Defiant. Family.
For a minute, Sewell will have a kind of a shocked face, and he's kind of looking at like he was stumbling around, but he froze in time as soon as you saw the word defiant, and he just kind of looks at it for like a split second. He has a bit of a relief feeling, like his whole body just lifted up, but then immediately just came crashing down as soon as he was brought back. And after snapping out of it, he memorizes what is written. Relieve pressure, blue sector, 2 weeks. He quickly takes a look around. Do I see anything? Anyone kind of like looking at me or being
No,
weird?
everybody's still kind of doing like
Their
in
own
in
thing.
their stalls, in their showers. You can hear Garvey down at the end like humming.
And you said this was on like a piece of glass or like a
Yeah,
piece
it's
of
like a mirror, a proper mirror, and it's kind of cracked from like somebody probably punched it years and years ago.
yeah.
So when you wrote the message during your blackout, you kind of nicked your finger, so you know that it's you that actually wrote it.
Okay. I would. So Sewell would just like smear it to get rid of whatever.
Yeah, you quickly run your hand
Yeah.
across it. Yeah. And about this time, the singing gets a little bit louder, and you hear Garvey. He's wearing a normal sized towel, though he's not a normal sized man. And he comes over and he says, all right, boss. You okay? You looking kind of pale."
He like lifts his head. He kind of under his breath goes, perfect, and he kind of gets together and passes Garvey, and he'll motion them to follow over, and he'll just
"Oh,
say,
yes, boss."
"We got preparation to do," and just
"Oh,
walk.
boss." Yeah, and you kind of hear him clapping as he like putters behind you as you
Shut
go
up.
to
Keep it
begin.
down low.
Okay, boss. I'm so excited. And we see the both of you disappear, and the montage shifts once again to 2 weeks later. You and Garvey are sweating, running. You have to make it to the blue sector. Unfortunately, the two of you are being hunted by a pair of dogs. You can hear the barking, and Garvey goes, "Boss, we ain't gonna make it."
I'm gonna just say, "Shut up," and keep running.
You're like, "Yeah, run, keep running." I'm gonna have you make an agility check. He's also gonna have to make, or a dexterity. You can make a dexterity. He doesn't have dexterity or agility. Oh, he made it! What a big bumbling buffoon!
I
Look at him
failed.
go. Oh no! Maybe you trip over a small rock.
How the fuck
He
am I gonna fail at
jumps
that?
over
What the
your
fuck?
body. He picks you up. He picks you up with a critical success. You're both running. He
Oh, shit.
snatches you up by the scruff of the neck and tosses you over his shoulder.
Mhm.
You're now backwards, like looking over his back, and he's like, and you can hear him like running. You can see the shadow of these two dogs around this like corner where the light is. Do you do anything, Sewell?
Quickly looking at it, how would I be able to measure whether like our speed is not fast enough to outrun them? Like, can I see how fast they're coming up?
Oh, they're coming really fast. You can hear their paws. They'll be on top of you and very quickly.
How far is the blue sector from where we are right now?
You are technically in the blue sector, but you've not made it far enough down. Like you suspect from the message that they're going to actually break the outside of this asteroid. This is why you need to get on the farthest end of it so that they can break in or drill into it. And so you need to be as far as the tunnels will take you.
Okay. Sewell is going to not act this round
Okay.
and is going to prep his shank.
Oh.
Or by now, I assume I would have like a bit of a bigger weapon or something. Maybe
Yeah,
like
I would. Well, you tell me. Do you want to try to make something, or do you want to just have collected a bunch of shanks?
I think he would have like tried to collect a bunch of raw metal and
Okay.
not make like a sword or whatever, but like just make a longer knife than the shank.
Yeah.
That's a
Okay.
bit that's a bit more.
I'll give you
flatter.
basic. I'll just say you get basic knife stats.
Yeah,
at
that's
this
fine,
point.
yeah.
So if you have just a basic knife, okay. Let me make sure I have their stats because yes. Okay.
As we're running and we're
Mhm.
like doing this, I want to like ask Garvey, "Hey Garvey, have I ever told you about my family?"
He goes, no, boss. You don't ever talk about your family.
Okay, as I get him talking, do I see the dogs getting closer and closer?
They're kind of like you can see their shadows grow taller, which means they're about to round the corner.
Is there a way for me to make? Maybe I'll ask you, like, as Sewell, does he know that they're gonna catch up?
Probably. They
Okay.
usually catch up with prisoners if they're set on someone.
Okay. Um. All right, you're doing great, Garvey. Keep running. Um.
Yep.
I had two brothers. One of them died believing what he thought was right, and the other one died because he was a coward. What would you die for?
Well, boss, I don't know if I ever thought about before. And he goes, I sure would
And in the middle of
probably
him
die for a
talking,
good, yeah.
I'm going to stab his leg.
Oh, okay. I need you to make a melee combat attack. Okay. Oh, so
I got 2 limited.
2 limited success. That's plenty enough. You stab this poor dude. He has no armor on. He goes, ah, and he goes tumbling. He tosses you.
I would have prepped. I would have
So
prepped myself to roll out.
okay.
Knowing
All right, so this is tricky. I did not see this coming. This is beautiful. And you know what? I think I'm going to use my darkness point to do exactly what the audience doesn't want to happen. Sorry y'all. And he goes, oh, and he goes tumbling. You see the two blood fiends round the corner. Now when I say they're dogs, I mean they kind of run on all fours, but a
Mhm.
blood fiend is technically, if it stands on 2 legs, taller than an average human. I would say they're actually about the size of your friend here, pretty big. These are, from what you can tell and what you've managed to see at a distance, these are bionic war dogs.
Okay.
That are bred and created to eat people. That is what they are used for, and they immediately see. They kind of like round the corner, and the two of them like slide, and then one of them stands up on 2 legs, and they see Garvey down. You are in front of Garvey.
So when I have time to react, or is it
You
like a
do.
turn?
You
Okay.
absolutely have time to react.
So what I want to do is I'm gonna take one of the small, because I'm assuming the bigger knife is now jabbed into Garvey.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna pull out the smaller shank that I have, and I'm going to cut my. Sorry, warning. I don't mean to
Yep.
but
Yep.
I'm
Hey.
going to try to cut a piece of my arm open and
Uh-huh.
use the blood and kind of spray it like in front of me and onto
Okay.
Garvey,
Oh.
and then I'm gonna run.
He looks like he goes, what are you doing, boss? As like your blood splatters down his
And
face.
I'm trying to, my goal is to like create a wide range of scent around Garvey.
Around Garvey. Yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of splatter the blood. It hits the wall and the floor. It splatters across his face. He removes the knife from his leg. And he turns and rolls over and sees the 2 dogs,
And
which
I'm gonna
start
run.
running at him.
I'm gonna run.
Okay. You don't look back and begin the run. I'm gonna get another a dexterity check from you. So you're such a tricky little man.
1.
Okay, that's enough because he is going to basically go into combat. And you hear him go "Rah!" as the dogs basically tackle him, and you hear the sound of like stabbing and his screaming and the gnarling of dogs and flesh, as you you're almost there, you're almost there. You see it. You think something at the ceiling at the end of this hallway. The dirt kind of crumbles a little bit, and something kind of pokes through the ceiling, large and silver. That must be the spot. And then you feel something. A rumble of the earth coming this direction. And a drill finishes like breaking through the ceiling straight down. As the camera cuts up, and out of the prison to show you the full spectrum of this asteroid and the docking station on it. We're going to rewind time about 2 weeks. Or I'm sorry, about 2 hours from the point of that. We see a ship. On the side, the letters read the Defiant. Patches of fresh metal and some MacGyvered parts make it home to a crew. They all stand around a table. Tao, Tamir, Malik, and Alia, the newest member of the Defiant. They stand over a map, plans. Malik, I'm sure, has a data pad, but I think it is only fitting as the camera literally does that 70s show spin to see what each of you look like now, a year later, a year's worth of hard travels, a year's worth of isolation on a junk planet, a year without your mentor, a year. What has a year done to each of you? How has it changed you? And I think the camera goes to our captain, Tao.
Well, last you saw Tao, she had quite long hair that had been burned away. You know, fires as they are. Now her hair's cut a bit shorter in the back, leaving a little bit of length in the front, but still curled. She now wears a bit nicer of a leather jacket. It looks like it's got some padding to it, which helps with her armor a little bit. She wears tight leather pants and boots that are very utilitarian. You can see they've been scuffed and marked. She now has a shamag that looks quite a lot like Tamir's, that she wears around her neck. And she definitely has been upping her training lately. She looks a little bit more buff now. Yep. And yeah, but she's got a hard look to her face. She's got a lot of weight on her shoulders now. But yeah.
Yeah, you haven't seen your sister in a few
Nope.
months, at least not since the incidents there. And I guess you could say the Defiants had some upgrades, though one of them I don't think we're going to get to see quite yet. I don't think we're going to get to see that quite yet. We'll hold that one for later. But the camera pans past Tao, who I'm sure looks troubled and tired, but wearing the very utilitarian boots of Captain very well. Next to her is a tall woman, Alia. Alia, for those that did not catch your one shot, tell us, what does Alia look like?
Ooh. Excuse me. So you see, as you mentioned, a very tall, also very buff, dark-skinned lady. You see her hair is in braids, kind of like it's a mohawk, so her sides are shaved, and the mohawk is up there, but it's in tight braids that go back and fall behind into kind of like a tight ponytail in the back, which is also silver in color. Her eyes are hazel brown, and she's wearing a very simple, slightly elegant. I mean, it has some slight small patterns, but a simple robe that looks very pious. She is, a priestess or a aspiring priestess under the tutelage of her mentor, Sholi. Well, I think that's fairly it. You see, very bare minimum of any forms of accessories. Oh, on her side where she's shaved, you see golden scriptures that have been tattooed on there. So that's that. Outside of that, yeah, just some basic accessories like some small bangles, simple earrings. No real makeup. Just just her as a simple person.
And the camera continues its pan around the table to our dearest Tamir. Tamir. You stand on the other side of Alia. What does Tamir look like now?
Well, Tamir grew about 7 inches to be definitely the tall. No, I'm just kidding. Not. Tamir is no longer the tallest of the crew. Literally, Alia stands much taller at this point. But our fluffy boy put in some time with some iron and slimmed out a little bit, bulked up after a lot of the transpiring events over the course of the year. He is the sides of his hair is shaved, his curls kind of still popping up on the top of his head, and messy as ever, untamed as ever. His beard still relatively clean, maybe a little thicker than before. He very clearly though has dark circles weighing underneath his eyes. There is never time to sleep, never time to rest. There is always something to be done, and it shows. He just looks constantly exhausted. For someone who is, what, ripely 24 now? He probably looks 34 at this point. Clothing wise, he's still very plain, very simple. He has a white, very snug fit shirt that kind of collars over a very simple navy and green jacket, and his shemagh is still fastened around his chest, although it's a little tighter now, and shows a lot of wear. There is a hole that is still in the center from where that rebarb had gone through his chest, although now patched up thanks to Tal, and it's singed from the fire that they narrowly escaped from. Anything that they've been through, that shemagh has survived, and as long as the shemagh survive, Tamir survives. There's also a subtle change to his tattoos. Along his ear are several little markings, and alongside his neck are a few more.
And I imagine we catch the kind of glisten of that tech as the camera pans once again, and we just see that side of your face as he pans to your brother. You've only been back on the ship 2 months. What does Malik look like?
Fine. He
Don't
looks
be a dick.
fine. He looks fine in all aspects. So Malik looks mostly the same. Honestly, he's slightly more tan. From exposure. He does have a few more scars on his face that you're pretty sure weren't there before. You're not sure if they were there from the events on Kua, but you know they definitely weren't there at the start of this adventure. Namely, he has like one across his chin and another like down the side of his face. And he's still sporting the same style of like, apparently this is the theme for the night, shaved sci-fi hair on the sides. But normally his slicked back kind of top knot thing on either side of it is now braided. Because there was just a lot of hair. And whereas before it looked like this was done in like some kind of, Coriolis salon, this looks very much like he did this in a bathroom with a knife. So it's mostly shaved, but there's some parts where it went a little deeper than he intended to, where it's like straight down to skin. And that's really it. As soon as he got back on the ship, he, went to his closet, which was, fairly stale, space moth eaten clothing, and put on the same things that he normally wore. And that's it. He's just been kind of listing around the ship.
Well, these four individuals who have seen quite a lot over the last year, each in their own way, have about 2 hours before your planned heist. You have a chance to go over the mission once more to assure that everybody knows exactly what they are doing, exactly how they are supposed to do it. This is a very, very high-end and important security prison. Jailbreak will not be easy, but each of you have collected bits of information and have prepared. I imagine we hear, well, what was her name? What's the computer system's name in here? Actually, you know,
Sally.
no.
Sally.
Sally, that's right. I imagine we hear Sally go, "This is not a good idea." And it's actually Tamir that hears Aurora go, "She doesn't know what she's talking about."
She may, Aurora. She is not wrong. This is a terrible idea.
You all hear Tamir say that out loud, that you don't know who he's talking to unless he has informed you of Aurora. You do not see her.
Yes, he has actually, in fact, told. Maybe he has forgotten to tell Malik, but he has certainly told Tal.
What else is new,
and-
Tamir?
Yeah, I know. There's nothing else that's new. It's fine. But yeah, no, I think that like because he has to verbally talk, he'd look like an absolutely crazy man. It's as far as maybe they know, it's just an AI program. Nothing more,
Nothing more.
nothing less.
Sally goes, "The likelihood of success is exactly 2.35%.
You know,
That does
Sally,
improve.
I didn't ask for that.
Affirmative,
It's at least
Captain.
not a 0.
This is true. 2.35% is not 0.
We also weren't supposed to make it into the well, anywhere really. We should have died like 10 times, you know.
Yes, and every time you succeed, the likelihood of your death becomes more imminent. If you, of course, believe in logic and statistics." Sorry, cast chat. They're being silly is what's up right now.
My birds.
We're being completely normal with that.
And
Like this is the first time we played together in 6 months.
go.
Yeah, like
We're
don't
all
at us,
so
okay?
excited.
We just have the sillies in us, all right? We love and miss each other.
We're having 2 separate games here: the serious game and then a game of nonsense in chat.
God's just trying to wrangle all of it. Okay, so
There's
yeah,
no wrangling us. What are you talking about?
And Sally goes, "If my calculations are correct, this is the location where you should begin drilling to assure success." And you kind of see a augmented like blue grid version of the asteroid kind of appear in this hollow deck in the middle of the table, and it kind of spins a little bit. You can see the base piece on top. That's where the ships would dock. And there's like a little arrow that like points to the location where you should do the thing you're going to do.
Okay, so run me through the plan one more time. We land on an asteroid. We drill into the center of an asteroid.
And we get him out.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Look,
And
I already
we leave
sent
with
him
all
a-
of our lives intact.
Okay.
Sounds solid to me.
What'd you say, Tal?
Well, I mean, I think we got a message to him, so
Uh-huh.
he should be in the right area.
And what
Better
about
be in
plan
the right area.
What about plan B?
Malik. I
I'm
told
just saying it's been 2 months and we haven't had a plan B.
Plan B is we blow the whole asteroid up.
It's a whole we have 1 turret gun and a mason cannon.
We can also use some of our core fuse and bring with us a bomb, get it as close as we can, and blow us a big exit if we need to.
Okay.
I mean,
all right.
It's worked in the past.
Not
Sometimes the simplest method is the best method.
Okay, here you go. I got another one. How about you get documents to get us in, and then I can just steal that shit?
I mean, that probably would have been great to do 2 months ago. I can try to hack it on the fly and send it via space mail.
Look, we already have the mining equipment.
No, I'm not saying not to do it. I'm just saying we drilled the hole. It's still an asteroid in space. Like, does he have a suit? Does he have a compression suit? Does he have oxygen? Did you get him that message? What did you say? I didn't. How did you get him a message? Not important. It doesn't really matter. How,
Do you really want to know how we got him a message?
I don't care. How does he not get sucked into the vacuum of space?
I mean, so here's the thing, is that if we're drilling from a specific spot.
Uh-huh.
So, if nothing else, we'll catch him.
Hey,
So
convincing.
basically,
wait, hold on, Dot, I got you. Dot, I have you. Malik turns to Tamir and says, hey, Tamir, you know what? Never mind. Sally, how long do you live if you're shot into the vacuum of space?
Are
You
you
could live several
human
minutes.
in this scenario?
Yes, I'd be human in this scenario.
As Tamir pointed out, you have the possibility of living multiple minutes in space, though your brain capacity at that cold will dwindle out much sooner, and you, well, will die.
How long do you live as a functional human being?
Roughly 45 seconds before brain damage sets in.
Hope you guys are a good catch.
Gives us a 45-second window.
Okay, so
44-second window.
I think it's important for me to tell you how the mining equipment works.
I don't know. We just bought this stuff from Spotify. Let's go.
I mean,
This is your-
hold on,
there
Is
is
this
a
your
net.
fucking plan to save me?
Shut up, Paul. You're not in the scene.
I'm
I would-
sorry.
Get out of here, Paul.
I would like it to be known, for the record, that in case anyone hasn't been paying attention, Tal and Tamir have taken 2 mining trips with Alia so far with this mining equipment. This is not their first rodeo, folks.
It is not.
It is their first prison
Both
break.
times.
It is the
So-
first prison break, and they're treating
Yes.
Sewell. So they have been
Like
on multiple
ore, like a chunk of ore.
successful mining missions. Okay.
Yes.
What this mechanism does is it's been attached to the vessel. It has a large drill that drops down and drills deep into the core of asteroids. All right. Following the drill is a large tube. It's like a large tube that drops down into the hole that's created and begins to suck out, like a vacuum tube, whatever's on the inside of these asteroids. So yes, we are going to suck Sewell straight out of this prison. Hopefully, if he's exactly where he's supposed to be, Sewell will be the only thing that gets sucked out. Once you do, of course, remove the tubing and the drill, there is a hole in space, which means you have opened up a vacuum inside the prison, which I'm sure you don't even care about, right?
It'll be fine.
Great.
I'm just imagining that entire
Dump
like.
the stuff back in.
Can I just say, I'm just imagining the entire Rick and Morty episode where they do a heist and it's just the robot drilling into the planet and just shoving a camera and like trying to get pizza in.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So I'm just trying to
Son of a
say,
bitch. I'm in.
if you drill in, he has about 45 seconds. And if he's not right there, right where you drill in, it's just going to cause a vacuum and he's going to get sucked out.
We're not going to drill until we confirm his location.
How?
The same way we've always been confirming his location.
How?
Do you really want to know?
Kind of. If we're going to suck him into space.
We sit in the circle and sing Kumbaya.
I believe that. Sounds like how you made up the plan.
It is a good plan.
You have a degree. Drill into an asteroid prison. Someone paid for that.
In portals!
Yeah, I'm just saying, that's pretty high tech.
Let me tell you what a junk blender has done to Malik. It's
made him more of an
salty as
asshole.
Fuck. It's made him
Holy
salty is what it's made him.
Listen, he spent more time on the junk planet than he spent back on the ship. So
Malik,
Ooh.
you
yeah,
seriously think that you can forge the documents to get us into this prison and somehow get out with a prisoner? Something that's never been done. Prisoners don't walk out of this prison.
I'm not saying I can. I'm just saying we have to think of like what happens if space.
Yeah, well.
I mean, breaking into a prison is one thing to save someone. But then if you break into the prison and don't save him, not only is he dead, but now we're super wanted criminals. And then he glances at Tamir for a second.
May I say one thing?
Yeah, sure.
At this point, we have two options. One, we let Sul rot in prison, which I don't know if that is any different than him being dead already, because as of this point, he's not getting out either way.
Yep.
The other option is us getting us out. Now, how we do it? I mean, if you can somehow increase the chance of, what was it again, Sully? Percentage? 2 point something?
2.35%.
Well, if it is any more than that percentage, I am open to that plan. However, if it is less, there's really no other option. Unless you are willing to just let Sul live in this prison and hope that he somehow survives another few months, or let the prison system get to him. We, at this point, are running out of options and time.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. The cargo netting. What's the diameter of the holes in the cargo netting? It catches rocks, right? Can it catch people?
So you have a crane. This ship has a crane arm that drops down out of the bottom. So technically, you could try to catch Sewell with it. That is true.
Jesus.
You could use the crane arm to try to grab him
There's no netting.
if things go poorly.
Crane game.
Shut up, Paul. Get out of here.
I mean, technically, you could just drill the hole and drop the crane arm down. He's gonna come flying out that hole anyways. You could just have the crane arm waiting on him.
So here's the thing: is what if we put a netting around the crane arm and have someone there as well to catch him with oxygen supply?
I think Dot's saying we don't have netting.
You have net. I mean, you
Oh,
can,
okay.
you can rig that up. You can
Oh,
rig
okay.
it up. It's just like the normal way as things are usually set. It's just a crane arm that like drops down and out of the bottom of the ship and lifts cargo up and over. So
Wait. What's the diameter of the drill?
45 feet.
Shit.
It's a big ass drill.
That's a big drill.
This is a big ass drill.
No,
We literally.
I get it. Why don't you? We have multiple exosuits, right? Why don't you drill 99% of the way there, and then we drill the rest with hand tools, and then we bring a third suit, and then we put him in the suit.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we can get him in a suit in less than 44 seconds.
He doesn't even fully need to be in a suit.
Yeah.
He just needs the oxygen.
Yeah.
I mean, you could drop Tamir down in his suit on the crane, grab Sewell, and drag them both out via crane. You don't have to suck them up the vacuum tube.
No, I'm saying like drill in, pull the drill out, we walk in, hand chop the rest of the way, and then put him in a
I was
suit
about to say,
and walk back
Sewell,
out.
it is going. The moment you release that drill and the hole is out, it's sucking stuff straight out.
I'm saying we don't drill all the way through. We drill like 99%, and then we do the rest by hand.
I mean, either way, the moment you do it, you're still
Sucking stuff
creating
out. That's true. You are creating
At
a
least if
straw.
we do the drill, we do it quickly. It's
And
not-
technically, it's airtight because the tubing comes down and like fills that hole. That's how you technically are supposed to like drill it out. So I mean, how about this? The crane is an option for sure. You just risk Sewell, being sucked
Dying.
out past you. Yeah. There's a dying part there.
You don't get to say in this, Paul.
Yeah. You're not here.
I'm gonna mute Paul.
You're running from worms right now.
Get what you get.
Don't worry, Garvey rolled a critical success on his combat with those dogs. Don't you worry. Don't worry, chat. I got a corruption bar for a reason.
Look, I'm just saying, I'm gonna be real pissed if we come all the way out here and he dies.
You have been traveling a month.
Yeah, I know.
Look,
We're gonna be as careful as possible.
he's either going to die or we're all going to die. There is no in between.
It's definitely
We knew this coming out here. We've been planning this for months. The chance of survival for anybody, particularly so, is not very high.
I'm trying to make that a little bit higher, but all right. All right.
Look, I'm just gonna stay with the ship and make sure that if anybody starts coming up on us, we can either dissuade them from doing so, or I can just, shoot them down.
Do you want me down there in this suit?
Honestly,
Drilling by hand.
look, I'll if I if
Alia,
someone
if
has
you
to go
come
out,
with,
I'll go out.
you
I'll
could-
go out.
No.
You're the drill operator. I don't know how to use that thing.
Tell Sally what to do. Sally operates it. It's literally automated.
I am very good with a crane. It's
Great,
in my
thanks.
programming.
Thanks, Sally.
You are welcome.
Mute.
Considering that I am
Muted.
the largest, considering I'm the largest one here, then I feel like my reach would be much more than anybody. And also certain skills I feel I could utilize, perhaps. Predict where he might be, let's say. And maybe use that as an advantage.
That may be very helpful then. If we're down there, we drill the last bit of the way, like Malik says, and you are able to pinpoint. We wait until he is right there. We have this. We have the other suit ready, and it all works out.
Yeah.
Our plan is powered by optimism.
KP, I know that you watched the whole show, both seasons. You tell me which plan isn't powered by optimism and bullshit, and I'll call you a liar who didn't watch the show.
No, there's proof. He watched it.
I have
You knew
video
what you were
proof.
doing.
I have video proof I was there. Okay. So the plan, so I completely understand, is to drill 99% of the way there, to send Tamir and Alia down in suits
I feel
to
like
the
we're all going.
surface. Except for Tal.
Except for Tal, yeah.
All three of you are going to go.
Yeah, Malik can't do
we
shit.
Have, we have learned a lesson though. Like, we don't want to leave our pilot alone.
So
Pilot's
stay-
got to have.
So hang out with your girlfriend.
Are you gonna
You
operate the drill on
literally
your own?
just told
Yeah, it's a
him
drill.
to go down.
Yeah, it's a
there.
hand drill.
It is
You
not a
press
hand
the
drill.
button.
You still need to. No, that's not how these things.
You just said Sally operates the drill.
No, Sally operates the big drill. The little drill, you have to operate yourself.
True.
Press a button and you push.
No, that's not how.
Do you want us to fail? Because it's kind of seemed like you're trying.
Fine, do whatever. I'll just fucking sit here.
You
Hey, maybe
could be
you
useful
can-
and do ops or something. Make sure that nobody else is coming around. And
Sure. Yeah. Yep. Boop. No one's around.
good, you know how to do your job.
Boop. No one's around.
Okay,
Boop.
so if that changes,
No one's
then
around.
you can dissuade them, so I don't have to.
Yeah, no problem.
So the plan is that Tamir and Alia are going to go to the surface of this asteroid. They are going to hand drill the rest of the way and be prepared to catch Sewell as his body is sucked out of the hole. Is that
Well,
my
don't say it like
understanding?
that.
Sounds
Oh yeah,
solid.
we're sucking Sewell out of holes. Yeah.
Great? Okay,
Yep.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah. How did
I
this
com-
plan happen?
Damn it, no.
We had months to
Please.
figure it out.
Understand.
Look, you
I-
left it to me. This is what I came up with today.
I'll
You
be
are
honest,
welcome.
It is significantly safer to suck Sewell up through a vacuum like a pipe than it is for you to try to air catch him empty into space. But just the computer system savvy.
Look. The worst thing that could happen is he's flying in space. We've got our exoshells on, which has boosting power. We catch him by our hands as a backup. Both Alia and Tamir.
And
Alright.
what, we're gonna use the crane to drop you down.
Mhm.
And then the crane to bring you back up in the 45 seconds you'll have for Sewell not to die.
What if we bring
Yeah.
What if we bring a cooler? What if we bring seriously,
Crack a few
like the
corks
the cargo drop thing, right? We just stop it. I saw it in a show once. Or did we do that? I'm so confused. I watch way too many space things. No, it was in The Expanse. We're doing that. There's a cooler that's able to survive space. We have a thing of oxygen in there. We throw them in the cooler, and that's it. Close it up.
Y'all come to rescue
Oxygen's
Sewell after a
going.
year of trauma in a prison and you're fucking in a cooler.
I want to take a pause real quick. Little out of character break here, guys. Intermission, if you will.
I miss you all so much.
The end of season 2 was 6
that
months
was
ago.
Lost in Space. Thank you.
6 months ago was the end of season 2. At the after show of the end of season 2, we said we need to have a prison break episode. We all agreed. It has been 6 months, and we've all known that if there was to be a season 3, it would start with a prison break. We've had 6 months to plan this. We started 8 hours ago.
Perfect.
Hold on.
Wait,
That's
that,
late
I've been
plans.
asking questions for like 3 days now.
That's true.
that
That's
is
true.
true.
And
That
I've
is
been
true.
ruminating and saying, "Hey, we need to talk about this," and then nobody said anything.
That's
and I'm
true,
like,
but
"Hey,
we still
this is
started
my
8 hours
idea.
ago.
Does anybody have any comments or concerns or anything?" And then you said the one thing that I'm not even saying. It was awful.
It's so
Don't
bad.
know.
I know I'm not here, right? I
Get out of here, Paul.
My entire future of season 3 relies on this episode. I just want people to really let that sink in.
Yeah.
And we gave it 8 hours, Paul. Okay.
Yeah, that's even more than I really thought. And I purposely
You're welcome.
avoided any spoilers because I wanted to see the most creative. Because I know these guys are smart. Everyone here is so smart, and I know
No.
it's gonna be the coolest. It's gonna be the most badass. I've learned that never to put my life in any of their hands. I'm gonna go back now.
Give me a space drill, Paul. What do you want?
You're safer in the darkness.
And scene.
There it is. The plan.
Mm-hmm.
Laid out as
So-
it is.
Yeah.
Here, I will. One last thing. One last thing. I'm going to invoke my traveler's talent.
Okay. What does your traveler's talent do?
My traveler's talent is you can ask the GM. Oh, come on. About a choice you have to make in the game. It has to be a
Oh.
choice with only 2 options. The GM then must answer truthfully about which of the 2 is most beneficial to you, if at all possible to estimate.
Okay.
My question. Is it better to just vacuum stool out? Or catch it by hand?
I'll tell you this. This is what I can tell you regarding that question. If you vacuum suck Sewell out, the roll is on Sewell. And I can't tell you why, but the roll becomes a roll for Sewell. If you have to catch him, it becomes a roll for Alia and Tamir. So the question is, do you want to make the roll, or do you want Sewell to make the roll?
Guys, look at Sewell's rolls real quick.
Oh my god, I want to talk so bad.
Shut your mouth, Paul.
Guys,
In the corner, Paul.
consider
Decide your
consider
fate for you, Paul.
consider Sewell's roles throughout history.
Everything's fine. It's gonna be fine. That's
Oh,
that. That's what
you
I
know
can
what,
tell you.
though? When Sewell needs to do what Sewell does, Sewell does it.
That's true. He has crit like every time it mattered.
When it really counts.
Let's put it. Paul, you want in on this? We're putting it on you. This is your role. Yeah? Are we cool with that?
We're gonna put it on. We're gonna put it on Sewell.
Yep.
Fuck.
Okay.
Look, we have
Your
to do
life is in your
everything
own
else.
hand, buddy.
Sewell gets one roll for this. I gotta make 2 piloting checks. Sewell can make 1 roll.
That's true. So here's how we're gonna start this. We see the montage exactly as it's supposed to be around a table. Everybody doing their part. We watch as Tamir and Alia get suited up into like some heavy armor so they can basically go outside of the vessel. We see Tao take the pilot's seat. I'm gonna get 2 rolls from you. 1 for your trip here. Actually, I need 2. Let me just get 2 piloting rolls from you. Each of them will be blessed because you have a temple on board. You've got, I believe there's some the maneuvering things give you another +1. So that's 2.
I also pray before we leave.
Great.
And
So third
before
one.
every jump.
Great. So I'll just say 3 to each one of these rolls.
Okay.
Oh, and Tamir 4 because Tamir plotted your course.
So +4. Come on.
Would Alia praying do anything?
It basically is going to continue to give that +1 to the prayer. Okay.
Gotcha.
Limited success. It is a well-plotted course. It takes you the full month exactly as you planned, but you have no issues jumping from portal to portal to portal to portal. I'm going to have you roll once more. This is for the trip here in Odacon, and to actually pull up to the asteroid and land without any issues. Same thing, 4. Okay. It's a little bit more of a bumpy ride as you go to land, but, you know, this also isn't a planet. It's a spinning asteroid. And the vessel finally comes to a, like... and powers down, I would say, to some degree. You know, like the thrusters, like, power down. And we hear Sally come over top of the, like, intercom, and she goes, preparing drill. And you can hear it on the side of the ship, like, as the drill gets ready. Awaiting your cue, Captain. Oh, I think you're muted.
I am.
There we go.
No, yeah.
Okay, you're good now.
Malik, keep an eye on the radio.
Boop. There's no one around.
You hear?
Yeah, okay, go
I
ahead.
was about to say you hear the chatter of the guys in the prison. You know, like their radio chatter, but there's nothing odd.
Yeah.
No one around.
And
No one around.
Fuck you.
Sally goes, I take that as my cue.
Yep.
And you hear the drill. You feel the whole vessel shake a little bit as the drill hits solid rock and begins to drill through it. Alia. Tamir. Actually, Sally can't drill and man the crane. Guess what, Malik? You're gonna need to make a mechanics roll.
Technology?
I'd take a technology. Yes, technology roll.
Okay.
Sorry. That's correct.
I just want to make sure.
Yes, technology roll, correct. Because you're gonna, yeah, perfect.
2 successes.
You keep manning the radio, and we see the crane, Alia hugging one side, Tamir hugging another, suited up. Net, you asked for a net. There is one. As the door opens, Malik, you're on the other. Sorry, you're on the other side of a piece of thick glass, and you can see it. The silence as it opens up into space, and the crane drops down. It takes about 10 minutes for the drill to hit the 99% point. You hear Sally finally come through as you watch your brother's head dip just below She says, drilling complete. 99% through the core.
Thank you, Sally.
Alia, Tamir. The crane comes to kind of a halt, dropping down just about as far as it can go. You see the tubing has not been dropped down around the drill. It's just an open drill that's like dropping out of a hatch in the Defiant. It has stopped and kind of withdrawn, and you can see it drops down about 5 feet, 6 feet or so, and stopped. It obviously is not all the way through because, well, you're going to have to drill the rest of it by hand. Right? Or are we sucking him out?
Oh, we were sucking them out. We were gonna leave it up to
Great.
Soul's roll.
That's fine. You still okay? Great.
Okay.
So, I would say you're both still out there, regardless.
Okay.
Because
Like, wait,
you-
hold
We're a
on.
contingency plan.
Yeah, contingency plan. Never hurts to have an extra person there. And Tamir, you would know that there's like the side of the drill itself can be controlled probably from your arm. You've been doing this now for a while. I can only imagine that you've like added a thing, and the drill kind of finishes. You watch as this big, like huge, like 4-foot circumference tube like out of the bottom of Tal's ship, and it fits perfectly right down into the hole. You control the rest of the way, the 1% all the way through. And you get a notification on your arm as you and Alia kind of stand there and watch the tube. It tells you that you have like broken through to the other side. As the drill is removed or slowly removes, do you say anything?
Yes. Alia, are you able to locate Sue before we fully remove this?
Are you asking if I can see if he's on the other side?
Yes.
I can certainly try.
No. You can roll a mystic ability to try to locate Sue or see if you can maybe pinpoint his presence.
Don't fail me now.
Okay. You are out here. You try to concentrate, but you don't feel him. It doesn't mean that he's not there. And there's no really backlash in regards to this, but you don't feel him. And Tamir, as the drill pulls free of the dirt, I'm also going to have you roll a mystic ability, but for a very different reason. Okay, you succeed. You've been working with Alia and with 2-Bit quite a bit on your mystic abilities. The feeling of nauseousness and of the uncontrolled part that you felt very early on has dissipated over the last few months as you've become stronger. But as the drill removes from the dirt, you see it like crumble and you can actually see through. You've done it. You've crested the asteroid. Something hits you like a ton of bricks in the chest. You feel that feeling again of uncontrolled presence of something big, of an artifact. Your artificer tingly hair stand up on the back of your neck inside of your spacesuit, and something powerful is here. Super powerful is here. It might even take your breath away for just a second.
Aurora, do you sense this too? Do you?
Aurora is like, she's just a projection in your mind. She's down on all fours by the hole, and she like just in space, and she's like looking, and she goes, "That's a big hole." Oh, right, sense things. Sense something here. I can hear it ticking. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. You feel as she says tick tock, your heart begins to match the pattern. Tick, tock, tick, tock. And you can feel that artifact pounding and beating.
Please, everybody, use extreme caution.
And as you say that, the camera cuts inside of this asteroid. That face. Sewell, you watch as this drill finishes tunneling through, and as it pulls free, You're like, hot damn, they did it. They're here to. And then you hear something from behind you. The sound of one dog with a knife to the neck. And you hear somebody's voice go, boss, don't leave me. I'm coming, boss. Sewell, something starts to happen. The sound of as the vacuum tunnel begins to suck out everything in its path. The ground on your feet continues to rumble as the worm gets closer, and I'm going to need you to roll a dexterity check, or I think a dexterity check is probably suited because your feet begin to rise off the ground as this thing begins to suck you in like a little tiny dust bunny from under the sofa.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, great.
Oh.
Your feet begin to rise and you realize that this thing is about to suck you out of here. And you give in, which is good because the pressure finishes and it like jerks your body. And you go, praise be, head first. It's a good thing you got 2 successes. Head first into this tube, and you remember to draw your arms in and tuck in tight. Samir, Alia, you watch as Sewell up this tube and into the Defiant. But
2.3 chance.
because we have this corruption bar that we've been sitting on, I have to do something. I have to try for something. So you get free, you see Tamir in his suit. You haven't seen Tamir in a year, and you see, and then a hand, a big one, grabs you by the boot. If you can't really, because you're in this tube, but if you manage to kind of look over your shoulder, you can see feet off the ground, unable to fit in this tube. Holding you by the foot is Garvey. Knife dangling from his hand. He's got blood all over his face. At his foot is a dog that is still partially alive, gnawing it, locking all 3 of you into place. Your body is like in this vacuum tunnel as he's hanging onto you. And you can hear him go, "You son of a bitch! You can't leave me!" And he goes, "Ow! Cut your foot off before I let you go." And he's like, "You backstabbing, betraying son of a bleepity." And you're like, so you can't hear all the horrible things he's saying to you. What do?
Am I able to move at all?
You can, your hands are by your side. The tubing is like just a few inches on either side. You can try to force your foot free of his hand. You can try to kick him in the face. You can do anything within limited motion of being like, because basically the tube's sucking you up, it's pulling you one way, and Garvey's pulling you the other.
So Garvey's a pretty big dude, right?
Garvey's a big man.
And I assume his hand is probably just as strong.
All the way around your ankle.
So, fuck. Am I able to kick my own ankle?
Oh, you want to like kick his hand?
I want to kick my foot.
For what reason?
I want to try to break and dislocate my ankle.
From his hand? Oh my God. Okay. All right. There are 2 rules I'm going to need for this.
Actually, before I jump to conclusions and decide that I can't do anything, I'm going to try to kick his hand just to see what happens.
Just try to see if you can let it go. That would be a melee. I'll take a melee combat or a force check. Either one's fine.
Okay. I'll do melee combat. I don't know why my first thought was let's break my own foot, but yeah, let's just.
I mean, that's a bold ass move. Okay, that's
Sounds on point.
That's really, really good, actually.
Do I have it? Do I have anything on me?
Okay, he fails. He fails his strength check not to let go. And you see him as his, you know what? No, I'm using a darkness point to reroll.
Let's not. We just started.
I got 10, y'all.
I want you to think about this. I'm in a tube.
Okay,
all right.
1. He only got 1. His hand lets go a little bit, and you realize it lets go of your ankle, but he manages to snatch the bottom of your pants. So you slide up a little bit more, and y'all see, like, Soul's head is, like, this far above the asteroid end or like a baseline, but he's not. You can see he's like struggling with something. Do either of you do anything? You're basically hanging on to the crane that's right here, and Tamir has been working the technology to like bring the drill, the tube down.
Oh.
Still clear.
So is
Don't speak too soon.
is he out of the hole? And
He's
now in the
about this far out into like.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Oh, so is it just the two, Alia? And
Yeah,
Tamir?
you guys can
That's just
see
pulling,
him
like,
about this far. No, he's like in the tube from the top of the ship
There's
all the way down
nothing
into
we
the earth
I'm
is a
sorry.
tube. It's clear. You two can see him, but something seems to be weighting him down into the prison, and you can't figure out what. You only see about this much of him.
And you said he's grabbing my pants, right?
He's got your pants leg
Okay.
now. That's all.
Alright.
It's not. It's not a
gonna-
stronghold.
I'm gonna wait. Go ahead.
Okay.
I think Alia's gonna be like, Tamir, drill. And at this point, because she realizes like something is holding him, like something like either he's stuck
You
or something. The
could
only way is
increase
like
the suction. You could increase the suction.
You're gonna split this poor guy.
Sewell's gonna come back.
one way or
as the
another, you're
man who
getting on
was.
that ship.
Yeah, you could increase the suction pretty easily if you wanted to. If that's the I'll give you that.
Oh my
That-
god.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
you have 6 months to plan a prison breakout. Got you,
Sucks a
fam.
little harder.
What about you? You remember that? You remember that Tropicana orange commercial from the '90s with the straw and the thing? That's the plan.
It's work.
I'm gonna send
Solid.
a quick message.
It's work.
Okay, cool. Would you like to increase the suction? That's on you. That's for Tamir. I mean, Alia suggested it. It's a good.
No, I suggested drilling. Like we have hand drills, and then drilling down,
Yeah,
getting to see.
increasing suction is such a risk at harming a body. I would rather the two of them take the time and just try to drill the bigger hole to see what's on the other side.
Okay. That will take some time. But you can totally do that. So the two of you see this and probably like touch down on the asteroid proper, like your feet hit in these two suits, and just next to where the tube has gone down the hole, and you see Sewell kind of struggling. I'm sorry, that's funny. It's funny. You begin trying to like the two of you. I would think this drill to get a hole big enough, like what you're looking, it requires both of you to work it at the same time, and both of you need to roll a mechanics. I'm sorry, not a mechanics roll, a technology roll for me.
Technology. Oh, shit.
Okay.
That's a fail.
Oh, if you're missing it, just roll wits. Just roll wits.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a point.
Okay. Take him. Great.
All right.
This is gonna be fun. Okay. So here's what happens. You see Sewell struggling, you can't figure it out. The two of you touch down and we see your drills like hit the surface of this asteroid as you begin trying to like drill through it into like making another hole so you can see what's going on. Camera cuts inside. Tao, you see this from a cam in the cockpit, that they're now drilling a second hole. Sewell seems to be stuck like a chocolate chip at the bottom of your shake, trying to get up the straw, and it won't come through. You know what I'm talking about? And
Those boba balls.
yeah, exactly. It just like will not fit. Malik, maybe you go to be a cheeky mother. I was about to say, maybe you go to be a cheeky motherfucker again. To just come over the radio and say, nothing here. But that beep, it doesn't come back the same this time around. Something does show up on the radar. Something big. And when you look at like the HUD screen and it kind of boop and it comes around, you can see it's almost kind of spread out like a cloud of some kind. It's a little far a ways off, but it is headed this direction. Every time it boop comes back around, you see this like cloud get closer and a little bit closer. The way like a storm cloud might appear on a Doppler radar.
I hate you, Dot.
I know you do.
I also read the book.
Yeah, this is why you don't look ahead, Mike.
I'm a GM too, Dot. I'm running the same game as you. Okay. Yeah, so I think there's a few more. All clear. Still all clear. Not clear.
Oh, look, I'm really glad we had someone on that. What is it?
Space cloud?
Inorganic cloud. Unsure of its makeup. Heading this direction through space at a rather rapid pace.
Thanks, Sally.
You are welcome.
Had it with space cloud.
Space cloud
hey-
is an
hey,
unofficial
guys.
term.
Hey, guys.
You probably hear Tamir and Alia, Malik's crackled voice in your ear.
Sort of busy.
A little busy
Can we
right now,
chat?
further.
There's a
Something's coming.
space cloud.
Like radiation?
Unorganic objects.
The both of you are like hands on this drill. You think you're almost through to the other side. You're not entirely sure. And then Malik comes into your ear. Maybe you look over your shoulder. I think Alia, you're like looking over Tamir, right? Tamir, if you turn around and look, you both see it. Off in the distance, where there are like stars and stuff, some kind of dark cloud or something is coming through space. It's blocking the stars at a distance and it is moving this direction rather quickly. You can see it. But you both failed this lovely little roll that you had on this technology, and unfortunately the drill snaps and like breaks off in Tamir's hand. I don't know if you hit something or what. So
Oh, yeah,
actually,
what's up?
Tal, do you want to
Okay.
take any action? Does Tal want to? I gotta give Tal a chance to take action, and then we can cut to Sewell because this is gonna be good.
Tal's gonna go to where seeing that there's all this stuff going on. Tal's gonna go to where the material usually comes up, like and
Yes,
stand on the other
yes.
side of the door, just in case, because she wants to make sure that Soul does have oxygen and doesn't die. So
Right,
she's
right,
Going to be, she's gonna move over there so that
Actually,
she's
I
ready
think if you're looking at
somehow becomes unstuck.
I actually know this. I can tell you where this drops. If you go to the third floor of, let me take you over to the third floor of the Defiant. The second floor is where the actual like drill module is, but it dumps down into this storage unit. There's like the tubing like runs down and into this room here on the third floor. So this is basically where you'd be waiting on him. And this is the cockpit. So you don't actually have far to run. You run back there. You're like, come on, he's got to be here soon. He's got to be here soon. And the camera cuts to Sewell still in a literal like soundless vacuum as you're being you can hear him still shouting profanities from planets you don't even know.
Yeah. My hands are to my side, right?
Yeah, both of them are by your side technically. Yes,
Which means I could
you could do what you wanted to do.
I would like to do what I want to do, and I'm going to so we'll take a deep sigh and take off his pants.
Sewell, you untie the knot for the rope belt that you're wearing in these like ragged clothes.
He's gonna ask me what game am I playing.
You hear him go, "You was my best friend. I'll never forgive you, Sewell. I'm coming to find you wherever you." And two things happen at once. Sewell, you remove the belt that is holding these pants that are far too big for you on, and they come off effortlessly. As it does, your body shoots at super fast speed. Up this tube, you cut around a corner. It bangs you up. It's like going down a water slide at a water park that's definitely built for children, and not adults. And you come tumbling out the other end into a room full of soot and dust where usually rock is dropped. And this kind of black cloud finishes behind your body. Tal is standing there in silhouette in the doorway. You are pantsless, covered in soot, but you are aboard the Defiant. As the same time that Alia
Wait,
and
can
to-
we
oh,
just
yeah.
say the first thing that he hears? Welcome back, Soul. I see you're messy and with no pants on. I missed you.
and the camera cuts outside. At the same time that Soul gets sucked up this straw, we see these drills break in Tamir and Alia's hand. But something else was coming down that hallway. And even though there is a tube and now the suction maybe, I imagine Tao might turn the suction off from inside. Like you like pull as soon as Soul's in so you know you don't suck other things up with you. But where you were drilling, a whole chunk of it releases into the air. I need Tamir and Alia to make agility checks or of some kind. I would take dexterity as well if that's better for you, to dodge the chunk of ground that comes like breaking out around you, because this is going to be important. Go. Look at both of you. Both of you like take a step back, almost in like slow motion, as the whole chunk like lifts off and floats away with the hand drills that have been broken into it. This, unfortunately, does leave a new hole in the prison, and immediately a new vacuum starts. The only thing nearby was a giant dog and Garvey. And the two of you witness this giant kind of hound-like bionic creature get sucked out of this hole. In its mouth is an arm. And then the hole gets plugged very quickly with some kind of fleshy, ribbed substance. You don't even know what it is. It's kind of, but it literally comes over the hole and just like seals it shut. The dog floats away off into space. It's all frozen and dead and stuff. Arm in its mouth.
I want to touch it. Like, can I scrape some of it onto my hand?
Yeah, you like touch it. It seems organic from what you can tell. You may even run like a quick thing. You're not sure what it's attached to, but it's entirely organic. It's a little fuzzy like a peach. And it's got like big ribbing in it, as if you it's some kind of large creature, maybe. You're unsure. But it is currently plugging this hole.
Hal comes over the comms and says, "All right, everybody in, let's go. There's a cloud coming."
Malik, do you bring up the crane?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You both of you hear the crane like.
Let's go. This is not a problem.
There's a space cloud?
It's
Yes, and
closer now.
It could be nothing. Just be careful. Keep a monitor. Have Sally run some tests to see what sort of inorganic material it is. We're on our way up. Is all okay?
Question. Does oh sorry, I'll let you.
Sewell, you okay? Yeah, he's alive.
Yeah, I immediately, seeing he's fine, I go back to the pilot seat. We're getting the
Great, Alia.
Can I grab something to cover myself, please?
Yeah, sure. Tao leaves you, and you're left in like this entire area, standing alone, pantsless, and you know there's got to be something around, a towel or.
I have a real quick question, and I should have asked this before, and I'm gonna just go back real quick. When Garvey was grabbing me and like we were running, did I have the opportunity to grab his bandana?
Sure, I'd say you could have grabbed his bandana.
Okay, so this is very important for me. As Sewell gets up to look for something, he opens his hand and he kind of sees the bandana, and he like grips it really, really tight, and he's gonna keep the bandana and then go to look for something to wear.
You know this ship like the back of your hand, and you wonder if they've even gotten rid of your bedroom, and you walk to go find out. Alia, you had a question?
Yeah, I mean, so this is something we asked. I mean, I asked before, but does she sense something at this point? Because
You would sense that there is, like I said, you would have sensed that there are some mystics. Like if you reach out, there are some mystics here. Ollie would know, at least based on her training with Sholey after these many years, that a lot of mystics just never awaken, that they're kind of like sleepers. Or even if they do awaken, they don't even know they have the ability because they don't meditate or they don't really lean into it. So a lot of mystics never even blossom, I guess you could say. A lot of them, I would say all but probably one of the 5 here seem to potentially be sleepers, or their abilities are very light. You get a faint sense of them, but they don't seem to be terribly powerful anyway. But there are mystics in this asteroid. More importantly, there's also some other presence, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is. That one is very powerful. But that you can't, that you've never felt anything like that before. You can just feel a presence here.
not like, it doesn't feel human-like. It doesn't feel like a
Mm-mm.
creature of any sort. It's just something.
No, it's like an essence
more.
or some kind of presence. You don't think it's a person. You don't think it's a person or a living thing.
Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to ask.
That being said, the 2 of you ride the crane up. The tube comes up last, right? Everything airtight. We feel the tube kind of pulls itself in. Now, a second hole resides in the hull of this prison. You can't see it, but about 5 foot down, where you broke free, a giant worm is currently vacuum sucked to the ceiling of this tunnel. It is slowly adding extreme amounts of pressure to an object that is this large. Tao, I see you. What are you doing?
Tal is like ready. She's just waiting to hear that Alia and Tamir are back on board so that she can fucking leave. She wants nothing more than to leave this place now.
I'm guessing that would be Malik probably, because you've been on comms.
Oh yeah, I mean, I assumed they would have said something, but yeah, if as soon as the crane like locks into place, and I know that the airlock is sealed, he looks over and says, "Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Space Cloud."
Tal takes off. Tal, I'm gonna have you make another pilot check. Same bonuses all apply, because I imagine at this point Ollie is like on hands and knees.
Yeah, I kiss my hand and then touch my
Yep.
traveler's icon.
So you can take the 4 again for your bonuses. The lifts off. Good thing too, because as the Defiant leaves the asteroid, we as the audience can see the surface of this asteroid begin to crack, become fragile. For those of us that are science people, when you put something that large on the opposite side of a very thin layer, with extreme amount of pressure pulling it through 2 holes, something has to give. And in this case, the entire side of the asteroid does.
Damn.
Tao pulls away just in time for all of you to watch as this giant space worm that called this asteroid home, when it was basically chunked from the planet that once existed here, goes shooting out into space. It literally breaks free a massive chunk of this station. Bodies go flying out into space, as does the space worm that kind of rolls on end. The asteroid itself, from that amount of pressure, gets tossed a little bit, and what's left of the asteroid goes kind of flying deeper into the asteroid belt, away from the Defiant. For the first time in a whole year, the Defiant is full. 5 people on board this ship. A pilot, a datagen, a scientist, a fugitive, and a mystic. Things are quiet because you can't hear a massive explosion in space.
Excuse me, Dot. There's a 6th person on the ship.
Who's that?
Wow. She's still a person if she's in a jar.
Last time I checked, she was in a jar.
Still a person, still on the ship. Rude ass.
Jar is on the ship.
Jar and a jar. 5 people in a jar.
Jarmara is still in the room.
Jarmara.
Why did it take us
That is
6 months to come up with Jamara?
That's
Look,
what
it
the-
took us 6 months
That's
for me
what
to
you're
come
thinking
up
about
with
in 6 months.
plan
Not how to
space
save
around.
your other player. Really?
wow. Wow.
You're on the ship, Paul.
Woo!
You're pantsless, but in one piece.
Sally says the likelihood of this plan's success was only 2.35%. Congratulations, crew of the Defiant. You have
Wait.
successfully completed your mission.
Other character question. Do I remember there being a Sally on their ship?
You do
Okay, good.
remember
Okay,
Sally. Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, Sally was definitely there. Welcome back, Sewell.
I still hate you, and I'm just gonna walk and like look for. I'm still looking for pants.
I would say about this point, you hear her say, "Welcome back, Sewell." Would Tao or Tamir or Ollie or anybody have messed with Sewell's bunk?
If
To clean
anybody,
it, maybe?
Oh,
Tao would have gone in to make sure it's clean, but everything would have stayed exactly where he put it. It would
Nothing
just
touched.
be clean.
so we'll maybe take a deep breath. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead, KP.
I think just like Ollie, just considering that she was into the hopes that this would succeed, would have like a little kind of like a little welcome back kind of card placard on the bed or something like that.
Oh my god. Okay,
Adorable.
the door slides open.
Have I
You
met
take a-
anyone yet, or have I just
You
gone
have
from
not. You
pantsless
have not
to-
met Alia
Okay,
yet.
cool.
You've not come in
Okay.
contact with anyone. You went straight to your bedroom to get pants. I mean, unless you want to meet everybody pantsless.
No, I prefer
I didn't
not
think
to do
so.
that.
I didn't think so. You walk back. The door slides open to your bunk. It's almost a little bit of a shell shock. Metal under your feet. Solid
Uh,
walls. And when the door slides open, your room is exactly as you remember it. All the guns on the walls exactly where you put them. Your Dura knife, your rifle, everything that was in your pockets the day they arrested you sits right there on your desk where you left it. Somebody's come in and clearly swept and cleaned, made the bed, got fresh sheets, and probably a fresh jumpsuit of some kind, maybe folded at the end of the bed. And if you go over to put it on, you see a small card. What does it say, Alia?
Just says, "Welcome back. We've been waiting."
Is there any signature on it, or is just that?
Or it's just that. I think she would say, "Well, no, I think it says at the bottom. Actually, welcome home to the Defiant."
But no signature.
So Sewell would take his time, walk through very, very slowly through the room. Each step, he feels his body shake more and more. He runs his hands like along the wall and expecting dust, but not seeing dust kind of brings a bit of like a smile to him, knowing that like they've maintained it for him, which means like, they thought about it. So,
Yeah.
you know,
And maybe all those feelings that you had 6 months ago before you ever got to meet Garvey, those feelings of betrayal and them leaving you behind, you realize were maybe inaccurate. They did care. They did come back for you. Just took them a little bit.
and I think with that, he would put on pants, obviously, and then he would walk over, pick up the card, read the card, and just kind of feel dazed by it because it's such a simple thing, but for Sewell, it's more just like,
Yep.
I don't know how to respond. It's like he has emotions that he's familiar with, but the past 9 months have dampened them.
Yes.
So he's really trying to understand what to do. And he gently puts the card back on the table and he takes the bandana and he folds the bandana that was Garvey's bandana very neatly and places it right next to the card. And what he'll do is he'll just kind of look out into the window and I assume he sees the debris and everything that was left behind.
I would say at this point, you see the prison like tumbling like through space, through this asteroid belt, what's left of it. The giant worm now looks so tiny, like something you might go fishing with off in the distance of space. But you're looking out the window. This is perfect. You're looking out the window
come
and
on.
something, you see like the worm and there goes the prison. Bye, prison.
Fuck you, prison.
Fuck you, prison. Right? You're kind of like looking over all of this and then you see something else. Your eyes attuned to it. This strange cloud of something. As it passes over the asteroid headed your direction, you watch as the prison, the like docking bay that's attached to the prison, the actual metal facility and structure, which you would have learned is actually a whole ship. It consumes it. It passes over that piece of metal and eats away at it like acid. About this time, Sally comes over and she says, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we have an incoming object.
With that, I think Sewell would like snap back into. Sorry, my dog is like she's
Cute.
sliding on the floor. I'm sorry. He would immediately snap back into reality, and he's gonna walk back out. But on the way out, he's gonna kind of tap his little recon drone to wake up, and it kind of just like hovers up. And
It takes it a minute. It's not turned on in a while. It's like a computer booting up that hasn't done it in forever, and it kind of like takes a minute, and when it gets its footing right, it gets its balance, and it finally comes to.
And I would just walk out and try to like find everybody, I'm just trying to find where to go next.
Does everybody convene, or what is everybody doing? Because I would say, Malik, you see that this cloud is almost on top of you.
Yeah, I mean Malik is on the he's on the bridge.
Great.
And so I think so. The tube leads to cargo, and I assume that's where Tamir and Alia are as well. Yeah, so he kind of just like leans over to Tal. Hey, can we go faster?
Tock comes over, just slams on all comms. Tamir, let's go. Make it fast.
Faster this.
Does everybody go to the cockpit, like to the
No.
Okay.
No.
Why'd you ask it like that? Dot?
If Tal wants
Not sure what it
Tal,
was.
you want fast, right? You want like
We need to go fast.
ooh, okay. So we're gonna so Tamir's going to the engine room.
Yeah, you're gonna go to the reactor.
Yep. And
okay,
we're gonna
down to the reactor.
Hey,
rig it up
Dot.
a little bit.
Hey, Dot. Since I'm tracking this cloud,
Mhm.
is it moving in like a straight line, like a straight predictable line?
It seems to be moving. I wouldn't say a straight line in that it's like geometrically straight. I would say it is moving directly towards you, but it's an amoebus like cloud blob, so it's not really holding shape or form. It's just kind of moving amoebusly through space in an unnatural way.
Tamir, do you know anything about space clouds that can move, like in omnidirectional space cloud?
I mean, it is not a common phenomenon, but yes, the sun can emit things. If something could event it from the asteroid.
Yeah, no, it's not moving in a straight line. It's following us.
I would say you don't know a lot. Tamir can roll a science. Alia can roll a culture.
I'm just gonna run away.
Look at our
We
culture
can follow
bay.
you.
We finally got a culture bay.
Yeah. We love you.
That's just how it actually works. You
Okay.
watch it.
Take it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would know.
Yeah. Oh yay!
Yeah. Okay. So you would know science-wise.
No,
There
snow.
are a lot of things that can
you.
do that. Oh, snow dog. Thank you. You know, there are a lot of things that can
Oh, no.
move that way, but the way that Tamir's describing it maybe makes it sound like, I mean, you've only ever read about them, right? But supposedly there's something called nanites. Nanites can be a thing. Two Bits probably even mentioned nanites to you if you visited her a couple more times. Like you may have talked about how some augmentations can include nanites, which really aren't necessarily an augmentation of the body, but kind of a separate thing.
Mhm.
Alia, your limited success is not based on science. It's based on what you've read and what you've been told by Sholey over the years. And Sholey was not a great storyteller, but she was a knowledgeable woman. She's seen a lot of the Third Horizon. And you would know that Odacon is not a very welcoming system for a majority of reasons, including, say, I don't know, the ship graveyard, the asteroid belt created by the exploded planet, or the fact that this all used to be a war zone. But those that frequent Odacon, the pirates here, tell a story of something called the Bane of Ashes. The Bane of Ashes is a little bit like a nightmare. It's told on whispered breath and hushed lips, but it's said to be an entity that can destroy a ship by breaking it down molecule by molecule, completely disintegrate the whole thing. And considering the fact that Sewell just watched the entire Pryzon portion of this asteroid go under in a matter of seconds, well, you may not know that, but you do know that Odacon is haunted by something called the Bane of Ashes. What it actually is, people aren't sure. Some people call it a semi-intelligent war machine left from the Portal Wars. Other people, scientists say there's no way that's what it is. It has to be a cloud of nanites. But the fact of the matter is, it exists here in this system.
Yeah, Alia at that moment hits the comms and just goes, "We need to leave now. We need to leave now."
Yeah, no, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah,
We're working on it.
Okay, Tal, you're gonna make a piloting check. Tal, yeah, let's get our piloting check. Does anybody else want to do anything to assist Tal, or do you want to try to shoot at it? What would people like to do?
Tamir and Tal have done this maneuver before, back in their early Yonder adventures when they were first just kind of meeting as an intern and a pilot. Tamir's in the engine room and he is going to basically unbolt some of the pistons to allow them to move at a more rapid pace. He's
Okay.
loosening it up
I'm going to need a science check
to make
assure
that throttle go
Go
a
faster.
little faster than it normally
Okay.
should.
Then I'm going to. I'm going to need a science check from you.
This is a
Um,
dangerous maneuver.
This is
but
a
they're
dangerous
little
maneuver. You could
desperate.
totally make the reactor unstable.
Yep, we
So,
know that for sure.
no big deal.
Mhm.
But you got to get the get the fuck out, as it's so said. So let's get your roll.
Dot.
Uh,
Go ahead.
If you succeed, you will add a +1 to Tal's piloting check to get the fuck out of here.
Well, so Joey, before you roll, Dot, can I start powering off the rooms that we're not using to have less draw on the reactor?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually a great idea. Yeah, you see what your brother's going to do, or maybe he says it over the comms, and you begin like flipping lights, right? Like we run to mess, and we see you like slide down one of the poles to the second floor, and you begin like clicking out lights. I imagine you finally see Sewell, who maybe is in like the main area.
I'm just walking
Malik-
around at this point.
Right.
I'm just confused.
Malik comes barreling through at top speed, flipping out all of the lights. Very briefly, you get a look at him. He seems.
I feel like there's a Kramer moment where like he slides
Yes.
down one of the stairs and he's running
Yes.
and like skids into the mess hall
Yeah.
and then just sees you.
I'm just standing. I'm just like, hey.
I imagine you're eating something. You have probably not had real
Yeah.
fucking food.
Oh, okay,
In
so-
so long.
Malik would walk into me basically ransacking the mess hall and just like opening all the cabinets and just like the plates are everywhere. They're just cans open, like not even like fully open. They look like they were ripped open. And I'm just like I'm
love
on the
this.
table with my foot on the bench and I'm just like and I just mid stop like
Yeah. And he slides in, right? Like slides. Hey,
hey.
welcome back. And then he hits the lights and the mess hall lights turn off. And then you just hear like footsteps. Hold on to something.
Hold on to something. And we're going to get the roll from Tamir to see if you successfully kind of reroute? You do. You take a deep breath because you know if this goes poorly and you don't do this exactly right in the exact order, this reactor blows and you're all dead anyways. And we watch you flip the switches like clockwork. Tal, you can see on the HUD in front of you as you sit in your piloting seat that the like energy levels of the ship begin to drop in some places and the reactor begins to boost. And you know that is your cue to get the fuck out of here. Make me a piloting check. 5 additional dice this time. You can do this, you can do this.
Holy shit! Yes.
4 critical success. Tau. Maybe it's as you kind of pull the vessel and you get ready, you see it. This cloud, this incoming darkness, this black thing as it moves towards you. It passes over the giant worm that's floating off into the distance. In seconds, it leaves behind nothing but a corpse. It eats everything off of it, leaving behind kind of a bone structure of this worm as it floats through space. And that is all you need to see. And you punch this fucking ship into high gear. You turn kind of a hard right, and we see the Defiant dodging and weaving through the asteroid belt, putting as much space and ship debris and stuff as it possibly can between you and this nanite cloud. You successfully get out, I would say, of the way of this nanite cloud. You've outrun it to some degree, though you can, if anybody is watching, see way off in the distance as it chooses a new thing to go and consume. Another part of a ship, another piece here. And though we are all aboard the Defiant, perfectly safe and at home, and you can feel the ship is moving faster than it usually does as Tau weaves and ebbs and flows. But there is something about this system. It's not really a great or good system, and as you dodge and weave through this graveyard, I'm gonna spend the last of our corruption bar. We had 2, our final one. Tau is a fantastic pilot, but you can't see what you don't know is there. And as Tau dodges and weaves, she successfully maneuvers but bumps a piece of debris that smashes into an old mine here. As it explodes and goes off, it chunks a piece of debris into one of the back thrusters of the Defiant. And all of you from the inside, thinking that you are free and clear, hear a really horrid sound of metal grinding on metal. Black smoke begins to fill the engine room, Tamir. As Tau, you see one of your engines blows and goes out. The Defiant is sent kind of tumbling ass over tea kettle as it bumps into a couple small things here and there, leaving a black trail of smoke behind it. Tonight's game ends with the crew together. Jamara included. Actually, I imagine with all of this, we see a jar go rolling off a table. It hits the floor and rolls to a corner, clinks to the side. You did it. You saved Sewell from this endless prison. And as the Defiant tumbles through space, unable to stop at the moment, Tamir, something in your chest, it feels heavy. You get that nauseous feeling again. And that sound, your heartbeat, tick, tock, tick, tock. The corpse clock has been broken open. The asteroid is no more that housed it, and it now empties itself into the bowels of space. Without a regular source of corpses, it cannot function. And Tamir, you feel for the first time an artifact begin to die, unable to continue what it was doing. For our audience, the camera ends with a Defiant kind of tumbling off into the distance, and we see a broken open asteroid. At its core, a clock still held in place, but the corpses are gone. It does not tick or turn. It comes to a resounding halt. And as it does, the mechanism begins to shift. Gears twist and flatten. Something opens up. As the clock falls away, literally off of its hinges, it reveals a box. About 7 foot tall, 4 or 5 foot wide. It seems suspended between the 2 rods that held this clock in place. The latch on the top of the door clicks open. The door swings just a little bit with the emptiness of space as it lifts. And something is awakened that has been asleep for a very long time in the Third Horizon. Long before there was humans, or a zenith, or portal wars. An ancient mechanism, a lock. The crew of the Defiant has unlocked it and released something. But we'll have to find out about that in the new year, maybe, because we have to call tonight's show.
You're welcome.
I actually have the next 7 hours free.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I
I
thought
had
we'd spend the
nothing.
last little bit just talking. We're all back at the table. I didn't want to cut us off too soon, but the Defiant is left floating through the asteroid belt. And, you know, maybe the prison was a little bit more than a prison, and maybe you broke it.
Sounds more like a farm.
You know what?
No.
I really feel like that went exactly how it should have gone for us. We
Yeah,
did
it sounds
exactly
about
what we
right.
were gonna do.
I
and
lost a
fucked
pair of
everything
pants.
at the same time.
Prison pants, Paul. Prison
Actually, to
pants.
be fair, they were rags from some other dude.
I was about to
so-
say, they weren't much of
Yeah,
pants
it doesn't really
anyways.
matter.
He wasn't even wearing a real belt. He had it held on by, like, rope. You know what I mean? So
You stole those pants, Paul. We know.
I did.
Mhm.
I
You
100%
You,
did.
you shanked someone for those pants.
I
Paul.
did.
Yeah.
I did. I shanked for a lot less.
We get it.
y'all, this was great. I didn't really know how it was gonna. I genuinely didn't know. There was a part of me that was like, they're gonna get here and then they're gonna change the whole plan and they're gonna go in through the docks. Just wait. Then it's gonna become this whole thing where I had planned one thing and they're totally gonna do another.
Subverting expectations.
Yes,
Honestly,
but
that was the plan I sent Eris, was going through the docks.
to go in through the docks. Yeah.
yeah.
But you know, nobody takes prisoners off this place, so Tao was kind of right, or Eris was kind of
Mhm.
right. It's like, well, it's kind of suspicious. Like nobody ever leaves. So how do we get? But yeah, there's a lot going on in that prison.
I
Sue
didn't
probably
think we
knows
were gonna
the
fuck
most.
that clock up.
Yeah.
I was
know-
really hoping to know more about it before I left.
Yeah, well, I would say you probably do, Sewell, and we
Yeah.
can probably dive into that more. You would
Cool.
know a little bit more information.
Hell yeah.
I would,
Dope.
because you saw it. Maybe you
Yeah.
could even sketch it and then talk with, say, Tamir, who would be able to break down some of the mechanics of it or knows a little bit more about artifacts. I don't know.
feel-
Maybe your
I feel the impact of seeing it in action is kind of embedded into Sewell's head now.
I bet it haunts your dreams.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be something that's gonna suck ass.
Yeah. I think
It
it's
sucked all right, Paul.
Every time I see a
Yeah.
clock, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have like flashbacks.
Yeah, for real. Like it is a traumatizing. Let me tell you, I found this thing the other night. This was not something I had planned to put in here. This was just going to be a prison. And I was sitting with Noam and Eris the other night and totally came across it in an artifact list and was like, this is the coolest, scariest,
I
most
blame
disgusting
you, Gnome.
thing.
Yeah,
It-
that
it-
was
it's
me.
kind
I'm
of
so
Gnome's fault.
I
sorry.
blame you.
It's
And
kind
I
of
said,
Gnome's fault.
do it.
Yeah, and he was like, "Do it." And I was
Do
like,
it.
"Okay, this is."
Fuck us
Because I
up.
wanted this. I wanted it to be more than a prison, but I also wanted it to serve as a
So
prison, and
good.
so everything had a little bit of a purpose. It all seemed random, like with the worm and the prisoners and the clock, but it all had its own system that I imagine Sewell, over time, might be able to like piece all the things together. Oh, and can we just talk about how Sewell has created a new nemesis today, y'all? This episode was an origin story for a villain named Garvey.
Oh,
Listen, wait,
He
totally.
wait a second.
survived?
I just want to
Oh,
know
he did
how
survive.
Garvey gets like in the hole, and then the worm gets in the hole, and then that whole side explodes,
Garvey
and
doesn't.
Garvey's alive.
I was gonna say Garvey doesn't get in a hole. The only thing that came out of the hole was the dog with Garvey's arm.
No, but what I'm saying is he was in the tunnel,
He
and
was.
then a worm came out, and then it exploded in a matter of
was.
60 seconds.
He was,
must have been a
but-
sprinter.
I'm just gonna. Well,
Where did he
God.
go?
He's gonna be my Captain Hook to my Peter Pan.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
know how it went down. I know how it went down. Like actually in my head,
This is one fucked up Neverland.
Right?
it is Garvey.
It was a
If
fa-
Garvey survives, Sewell has a new nemesis.
Okay.
That decision was
Best
rough.
origin story.
I
You know
was
what?
like,
I think this is the perfect time
Oh,
to
God.
pause Paul, and on the note
Yeah,
that we
you're
have
right.
a potential new nemesis, wrap up the show and do the last after show
Ah.
of the year. We haven't done a single after show for any of the one shots. We have the whole crew plus our newest crew member. I think this is the perfect time to do a full-on after show, the last one of 2020. So, let's go around, do our introductions, and get the hell out of here. And if you guys want to see the after show where we talk about everything that just happened, our thoughts on it, and our feelings, join us on Patreon. Link down below.
Or on Discord.
I mean, you don't
The
get the
after
after
show's
show
not on
there.
Discord, but
you
you
don't
can
get
chat with
that.
us on
But you
Discord
should
throughout
also
the
hang out
week.
with us on Discord. Let's start with Paul. Paul, you know, this is
miss
your
you,
first
Paul.
time back. We miss you, buddy.
hello.
How you doing?
I'm
Who are
here.
you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
What up, yo? It be me, Paul, wrapping it down. All
Wrapping
right.
it
So,
right.
yeah, you can find me on Twitter. It's at in1123. Everything on social platform. It's all in1123. I really don't know how to do this, and I feel very awkward, but I enjoyed today.
Killing
It
it.
was a lot of fun. As always. Yeah, that's it. That's all. I got.
Perfect. Perfect. That was the best we could hope for. KP, who
Paul.
are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Why is May marrying me?
You know, Paul, we ask
We
ourselves
keep
every
asking
day.
her,
That's
like
a
I
great question.
every day. I think I
She's-
just. Are you sure?
I think
Are you
it's
sure?"
clearly your charming ways, Paul. Look how charming you are. Look at that face.
Yeah,
Bless your
fuck
heart.
Yeah.
Look at that haircut.
Is
Look at that haircut.
Ah.
Yeah.
KP,
KP.
please.
And with that segue, hi everybody, I'm KP, as also known as KP11 Studios on pretty much all your social medias, on Instagram, on Twitter, and Twitch. I'm a play slash portrait photographer, as well as a content creator, streamer, and just a shit poster on Twitter. So if any of those falls under your purview and are interested in, check me out. And I'm also the one who plays Alia, our new member,
Our
and
new
I'm so excited.
mystic. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to see how she interacts with everybody here and just like the stories we're gonna tell. So
I
I just
look
want to say
for-
thank y'all
yeah.
so much for having me here and welcome me into your crew.
Oh, shush.
It means it's
Do you
I
know
love
what I
this
just
show
thought
so
about?
much.
No, Dot,
Paul
what did you
does
think
not.
about?
Paul does not know who Alia's family
No.
is.
No,
I
No.
don't.
not at all.
Also, if you guys don't know, Sul does not like mystics that much. So
Yeah.
Well, you got 3 of them now.
Half the crew
Yeah, I
is
know.
Mystics.
Yeah.
I know what
Yeah,
the fuck,
3
dude.
mystics, 2 gins, and
Oh.
you know.
2 assholes.
That's a sitcom.
We're gonna
or
we're
a
gonna be
joke
best
waiting to
friends.
happen.
Best
Yeah.
friends.
It's
3
gonna be an
mystics,
interesting-
2 gins walk into a bar.
It's going
A
to be an
space
interesting
cantina.
season. Interesting season, to say the least. Joey, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I'm Gnome, and I don't give a fuck what I'm up to. Holy shit, y'all. It's so good to be back.
Yes!
Like, I missed you all. Y'all did so fucking well. Like, hurry up so we can just go do the after show. I don't give a fuck. Bye. I yield my time. Fuck you. Go.
Jesus Christ. Aris, please, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Okay, so first, I've got a little ditty for you.
Oh,
A ditty?
Ooh.
We've got
Oh.
3 mystics, 2 bottle gin, and an asshole with a keyboard.
guys, I'm actually going to refund your money for season 3.
That's the Christmas
Best
album.
investment ever.
Christmas
Oh.
album coming near you. soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Void Christmas.
I'm looking
A
into how
very
to
voidy
refund your money
Christmas.
as we speak.
Yeah.
Uh,
A very voidy Christmas.
Beautiful.
Hi.
I love it. Please make it a
Aris.
thing.
Aris, tell everyone where we can find you on the internet.
Hi, I'm Eris Savad. You can find me on Twitter at Stitched by Eris. You can find me hanging out with Gnome Monday, Wednesday, and Friday doing basically this. Not playing Void, talking shit, especially about Mike. On
We
his
do play
channel.
Void. Don't lie. How
And
could you
we-
forget about us so soon?
Oh, yeah. That's happening. Is that happening?
That's happening, Dot.
Oh, Lord.
My favorite vacation spot just got blown up by those stupid Defiant kids.
Oh, not again! It's
What-
those
what
young
the-
punks.
Anyways,
What the fuck is happening?
You don't want to
you
know,
can-
Paul. Just let it go.
You can watch us do that and talk shit over coffee Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Gnome's channel. You're welcome. I don't know why people watch us. You can also find me on Gnome's channel on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. for Modern Gods, where I get to play a different kind of Chaos Fairy. It's great.
Mm.
And last but not least, Dot, our game mother. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I'm Dot, Little Red Dot. You can find me online as that, where I play a lot of games. I tell a lot of stories and roll a lot of dice with cool people like these folk, as well as a lot of others. So come check it out. During the day, you can check me out over on Kobold Press. I'm the new Twitch producer, so I've been doing some cool things with them, getting some new actual plays together. And I'm excited to announce that 2021 is going to be awesome because we're getting season 3 of Void. Thanks to all of you who have funded it. But my podcast, Stitch of Fate, which Joey edits for us, which Gnome edits for us, is also getting our 2nd season thanks to the support of our fans and friends like Paul, who helped set us up for success at the top, and Joey, who uses his fucking incredible editing skills to make us sound good, and all of these things. So I'm just super stoked. So you can check that out, Stitch of Fate. It's I love it. I love this game. I love that game. And I get to do them both again in 2021, bitches. So I'm really excited. That's all.
Perfect. That being said, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel and see this after show, link down below for the Patreon. You guys helped to fund season 3 and all of these one-shots of Void. As you know, they are 3-hour episodes. They will also be edited to a podcast. The first 2 seasons are coming out as a podcast as well, hopefully soonish. And I think that's it. Join us in the Discord, be a part of the conversation, and if you are so inclined, happy first day of Hanukkah. We're out of here. We'll see you guys in the new year.
Happy
Bye.
Hanukkah!
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy
Bye, friends.
Hanukkah.